Hello.
Hello,
Well,
Renee.
hello. Look what we have. What is this? Do you have this? All right.
Cheers.
Cheers. Nostrovia.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nostrovia. It's
Okay.
it's been a long time
Nostrovia.
since Nostrovia.
Nostrovia. Yes. And
It's been
so
a long time since we've gotten a chance to be on the R&D Café, and it's a pleasure to be back here.
it is. Yes. And it's great that we're doing it so close to the new year because the first time that we ever figured out how to go live ever to go live was on New Year's Day some time ago. And so this is the time of year that we are live, that we are, so now we're relearning the ropes. And of course, a lot has changed technologically during that time. But it's exciting that we're getting to do that.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
It
I mean, it's lovely to be able to see what this new year will be, and of course, everyone is exercising in the new year, and they're going into the gym, and it's just a
you say
it's
that so disparagingly. You say
Oh,
that
no, no,
so.
no, 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 because I keep seeing people
Hmm.
that are saying, well, God, look at that guy's six pack, and
Mm,
I see the word I see six pack everywhere,
yeah.
we're talking about on the stars, we're seeing it on
Hmm.
athletes. I mean, just the six pack, and so I mean, I would like to have that kind of admiration in this, but so I'm telling people that I've got me a six pack.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of hard work. Were you in the gym like every day and
Can I show you
doing
here?
the okay, that's a little I think that's a little different.
No, I don't know. I find
Anyone
that
can
when
get
I
that
carry this
one.
around, when I carry this around, I get looks. People
Okay.
look at me and
People
and
do
and
look.
and they look around. I smile at them.
Uh-huh.
Thank you for
Thank you
obviously
for
you're looking at my six pack, uh, and this must be what it's like when guys have that
you're
abdominal six
packing.
pack. Is that
You're
because I'm
packing.
packing? I've
You're
got my six
packing.
pack. I've got my
Right.
six pack, and so I can go around here. I ought to have one of those little baby slings, that I just
It's just-
sit there and just carry it around and just go, "Hey, how you doing?"
Yeah, you do need to have that voice. I think that's the six pack voice. The one
That's
that you had. It's kind of nefarious. It's a little villainy, like I think you need to do it one more time.
yeah.
For the people in the back, you do it one more time. That's good.
I,
Because is that what like a six pack guy would sound like?
I, I,
I
I
think that's
guess
what he
so. I
would
don't
sound
know.
like.
I've never been that guy. I've never been uh, that person. So it's not something that I would even know. So I can't. But I see them. I see them out there, and good for them. Good for them for the work that they do in order to sculpt their bodies to
Right.
be that particular way, and good for them. I admire them. I'm happy to be able to do it. I'm happy to applaud them.
Yes, but have you ever watched the strongman contest? Like, have you seen the strongest men in the world? The
Yes,
ones who
and
pull like the big
now the
semis?
and the locomotive and stuff like that. No, that doesn't. It
No, but
doesn't.
they don't look like they're not chiseled. What are they? I mean,
No, no,
they're
no.
like
But
they look
they're
totally
just
different.
strong. I mean, they
Yes.
have they're like a plow horse.
Right. So like those six packs that are chiseled are not really indicative of strength. They're more of like a bodybuilding thing, I
Right.
think.
Well, yeah,
The
they're more of a
strong
sculpture.
men look
No,
kind of
they're just
big.
a sculpture. But I mean, but you
Mm,
look at David. David
mhm.
doesn't have a six pack,
Right.
right?
Well, I think he does. I think he has abs. Yeah,
Does
he
he
does.
really?
He has abs. I'll
Well,
get a
pull it up.
picture. Let me get a
Why don't you
picture
pull
while
it up?
you're
Why don't you
keep
pull it up and
talking. I
we'll
well,
take a good look at his abdomen and his package.
but I do need
So
to tell you, I need to tell you a couple things, okay?
yes.
Number one, we do need to give a what do you call that? If you tell people, what is it called? A cautionary thing, like to tell
Oh
people,
yeah, yeah, yeah. A
what is
caveat,
it? A
a caveat,
warning?
yeah, a warning. Yeah, there's going to be nudity. There's penile
No,
nudity
no, 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 no.
is
But
about to happen.
no, but I'm going
You're about to
political.
see an uncircumcised
I'm going
marble penis
no, but I'm
that is
going
about
to
to go. All right, be prepared. Be prepared. It
no,
is.
let me
You
do
do
my
not want to.
thing. Let me tell you. It's about because in Florida, did you see that in Florida, um, in Florida, was it the teacher? I think it was a teacher, or was it the principal? Got in, got fired for showing like an eighth grade class or something
Mhm.
the David statue
Which
because
one? The David?
yeah, and so you're not allowed in Florida. I don't know if you've been keeping up with Florida, but Florida's got some issues. Okay,
Florida, yeah, but the problem with Florida looks like a penis.
I
Have you
know,
ever
but
seen it? I mean,
they I know, but the thing is that now you're not allowed to you're not allowed to have a human body in the state of Florida anymore. In fact, I think
we're going through some strange
we
times.
can we can it's great because, and I want to talk about David, and it's so fucking annoying that I can't. Oh, good, the FCC didn't hear that. No, they don't hear that. Only Mark Zuckerberg hears it. I'm
No,
trying to get the right what I'm.
actually not. Mark has come up today and said that they are taking all the fact checkers off. See,
Yes,
see,
they're all
there you
off.
go.
They're all off.
There
All
you
of
go.
them
No,
are
I do
gone.
not. I see a one pack and a single
Those
pack.
are apps. Those
Yeah,
are
but
apps.
they're not. But they don't have that rolling. They don't have that rolling. That the six
I
packs.
think they're okay. I can't tell the difference. Maybe I don't know what a six pack is. To me, I
Yeah,
think they're sort of there. But here's the thing I want to tell you. So first of all, we
sure.
just got banned in Florida,
Yeah.
but I think we do because like I'm naked under this shirt, so I think I'm not allowed to go to Florida either. I think you have to not be naked and under your clothes. You have to not have a corporal body, and then you're okay in Florida. But you see this, so only spirits. It's become a very spirited place. Okay,
So
so
this is what the teacher got.
yeah, because like art, it's great art. And of course, I've been to Florence, which is where this is, and
Mhm.
there's kids in there all the time that are there on their field trips. This is not controversial, nor has it been, except that one of the queens of England, I think it was Queen Victoria, she did request that they put a little olive leaf on that part when she visited it. And so they do have one for when certain people come who are mentally
It's,
ill, I
it's a
think.
detachable. I mean,
Yeah,
it
it's
goes. It
golden or
goes.
something. Yeah, and they just it
I
just
don't know.
attaches on
It's
there.
like one of those things that go. Go.
Right. Like so, like if you have a fear of the human body, then you might need that to
No,
be on there. And so
no.
God bless Queen Victoria. But when I was there, okay, so here's the reason why, because people always ask, why is David proportioned the way that he is? And the reason why was that initially he was supposed to go on the top of a cathedral. And at the last minute, everyone was like, it's so beautiful. We don't want to just throw it up in the air where no one can see the detail because the detail is so amazing. So that's why, if you look, it's like his head is huge. That's because you're supposed to be looking from below. So his head would have looked smaller. Just think of the mathematical mind that had to come together to do that. You can even see the arteries in that. So that's why he's
Absolutely.
proportioned
Uh,
like
yeah.
opposite. Yeah. And the penis is small because in those days, men considered smaller penises to indicate that you're more intelligent. So this is trying to show that David, it was intelligent. So you're supposed to have a very small genitalia. That was just the time period, is why that's so teeny tiny. But anyways, here we go. So that's David. And bye, Florida. We'll never have to do.
Well,
We just
I mean,
got boycotted in an entire state.
you have some real feelings about the puritanical uh,
You were gonna
mode that
say
are right now. I mean, we've talked about them the other day.
we're gonna
As a matter of fact, you now it could have been hormonal a little, but
no,
you were
I don't have hormones.
but you were
I
you
don't have a
were
corporal body. I've decided to move to Florida where I don't have a corporal body. So don't tell anyone I have a hormone.
anyway.
I'm doing a bit. You say you
Your
have some.
feelings about the puritanical system and how and the kind of shaming
Yeah,
that we do
sure.
is so damaging. Is
Mm.
just
I
so
mean,
damaging
what
right
are
now.
we telling children if your teacher gets fired for showing you the David, which is a biblical statue, by the way? So this was also used it was supposed to go on a church, a cathedral. It's to teach children and people about the Bible,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
know, but children and people, you have to separate them from Americans.
Right. This is very different. But my
There's a
point
different
is,
there's a difference in our puritanical.
Right. Where it's wrong to be a human. This is
Exactly.
wrong. It's
So we have
very, very bad.
we have to separate that as to what
Mm.
we're okay. So go ahead.
Well, first, I think that we need to put the viewer discretion from Manny. Manny Zamora made this, and I don't think he'll mind us using it for this. So this is for Americans. This is not for regular people. This is for
Mhm.
Americans who are going to be traumatized right now. To talk about
That's
regular.
always good to put the warning on
Mhm.
after you've already shown it. That's
No, it's about what we're going to talk about now. I didn't. You're right. I should have put it on for Florida, but I did say we had a viewer discretion for Floridians. Like Mark DeSantis is somewhere, and I think he just cried a little bit, but he doesn't know why. You know, like an angel gets their wings every time. Every time that this is shown, I think Mark
Mark
DeSantis he
DeSantis.
cries.
A
It's like a
little bit of it
solitary.
takes a little bit of his soul.
A little bit of his soul, a little bit of his soul goes back to the devil where it belongs. But anyway, so you can hear, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is like if so the reason I put that up again is okay. So imagine your teacher, you're a kid and you're 14 or something, and your teacher got fired because she showed the whole class this during their art stuff. What do you now, because you're going through puberty and you have access to the internet and social media and all this body shame that goes on, how does this help your journey? I mean, if for me, that would just make me feel like, oh my gosh, I am ashamed. And this is like, this is supposed to be a beautiful body, right? What if I'm 14 and I don't look like this? What if if I'm deviant in some way, I deviate in any way from that? What if I'm shorter than that or whatever? I don't know. I don't know what kids consider comely
Mhm.
these days, but or a different ethnicity or something like that. What if my hair isn't that curly? I mean, this is how, when you're a kid, everything is so grandiose, everything is so intense, those hormones are going. And that's when they say to them, yeah, make sure you're really ashamed of the fact that you have a body. That's really a great idea. It's so harmful. We have suicide rates that are soaring. We have sexual assault rates that are soaring. We have isolation. We have mental health issues at, like, apparently it's this apocalyptic scale. And that's how Florida wants to deal with it. And it's not just Florida. There's a lot of Americans that buy into this.
Well, there's a lot, but it is especially one of the things I love is when television deals with it sensitively.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a series on right now that is they've come back and they're re-showing it on Paramount, and it's called Medium. Now, this was back in the 2000s when it started, and it stars
2005. Yeah.
2005, and it stars Patricia Arquette
Mm-hmm.
as the mother, who is also happens to see um, dream dead people, dream. And it's
Mm-hmm.
interesting, and her name is Alison Dubois. And if you watch the credits all the way through,
Mm-hmm.
one of the credits is Alison Dubois,
Because
because
she's
there is a
real.
real Alison Dubois, and they
She's
base
real.
this, so they base this story on it. But anyhow, the what I love so much about Medium, it's not the supernatural. The supernatural is fine. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's a part of a plot device that, right, but it's the relationships.
Mm-hmm.
This is a beautiful marriage with all its warts and challenges. This is raising three children who are happen to be going through what the oldest girl, Ariel, is going through puberty right
Mm-hmm.
now, as we're right now in season three. But as she's going through and trying to figure out, who she is, and how, and her body's developing, and she's trying to figure out how she is dealing with. But the relationship is so real.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so absolute. I don't know of another series, one a dramatic series that has a family relationship that is as real and as nuanced and as clear as it is here. And so the the um, the dream portion of it, or the supernatural portion of it,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't interest me as much as the wonderful family relationships and dynamics.
I do think that the kids, first of all, the little kid, Marie, the
Mhm.
littlest one, the baby they always calling her. Her acting is like the best acting I've ever seen in my life. She is so convincing. I think she's just who she is. I don't even think she's acting. She's an amazing. I would like to follow up with her. I don't even know
Yeah,
like who she is or
right.
anything, but she's incredible. Just so good. Um, I think that the parental to kid thing and then the sisters fighting is so believable. Like it's just really good. And I
Mhm.
do think they get some of Joe and Allison right, but what always bothers me is they didn't give Joe enough of his own life. It seems like he's a little bit like he would get on my nerves because he's always like they have to create conflict. Like, like if you're a writer and you have an episode, which I love series more than I love movies because you get to follow the arc of somebody.
Yep.
They have episode after episode where they're trying to show. I can understand the conundrum. You want to show using the same characters a conflict because Allison has to work again. And she has 3 kids that she's supposed to be like, cooking for and putting to bed and they're sick and all that. So they need to do that. And they need to have an outside voice be like, Allison, you're working a lot and you have kids. How do you do this? And they don't bring in a lot of, well, what the father-in-law is actually dead and has a great role, by the way. I love when randomly he just shows up,
It
but
just shows up. Yeah,
he
it's just
just
shows up.
shows up. Yeah. But anyways, so what they do is I don't think it's fair to the Joe character because I like the Joe character so much, but there's a lot of episodes where Joe is like, I've got to cook for the kids. You're working again? Oh my gosh, what the hell? And I'm like, yeah, she's saving lives. And he's like always aggrieved. And he's like, you're not in the bed? What? I can't. I'm like, Joe, like you need to no. It's a
No,
little bit
I
like it's
agree. I
not
agree that
realistic. That's not realistic. But how else can they show they're trying to put something in there because but if he were doing it, like if they gave him, they have this amazing job and they have a few things about him and his dynamic with like when his friend had the heart attack, but
right.
it's not about him. And I get that, like, you only have so many minutes to do something, but it just seems like a lot of his, if I were that actor at some point, I would be like, okay, how much of my role is me to just be there like, hey, I can't possibly make food. It's like, no, you can.
I
She has a
couldn't.
job. She's saving lives. It's okay. The kids are in school. The kids are in daycare. They could have had another family member come to help out more. And then it's also kind of like, Dad can't possibly spend time with the kids without it being the end of his life. So there's a lot of that in there. And I don't think
Well, that's a
that's
difference in
nice.
perspectives. I disagree.
Yeah,
I
but it's
find it to
you
be.
admit that he says spends a lot of time being like, "What's going on? You were out of the house again."
He
Yes,
does. He
yes.
does, but I see the continuity. I see the continuity because it's from her point of view.
Mhm.
This is the medium, and
Mhm.
it's going to be from her point of view wherever we
Right.
go.
It's
Even though
always her. It's
there's going
always
to
her.
be,
Yeah.
but I feel like they keep a real good continuity because
Yeah.
I
They do.
watched this actor, Jake
Mhm. Weber.
Weber.
Is he related to
Steven? I don't
Steven?
think so. I don't know.
Don't they look the same with like the feathered hair and the
I don't know.
face?
I'm Steven Weber is a hero. I just think he's
But
an
doesn't he
amazing
look
big
similar?
writer.
And they
I've
have the
never
same
even thought
name?
about it. I have to find out.
All right, you find out because I was always
That would be
wondering
great.
that.
But that's one of the things that I want to do is for us to do
I want you
like
to ask him
reach
when you
out.
interview him. I want you to interview Jake.
Oh, I
I
will.
want you and
Oh,
then if I'm backstage at some point after the show, I want to ask him, Jake, settle this argument. Don't you feel you were a little weird? Like that character was a little, and I bet he sides with me.
I found it to be very very much that they brought him in as, certainly as they were doing, she will have to go off and all
Yeah.
right, I'll take the kids to school. I will do that.
Hmm.
But they seem to be able to do it in an organic way that when I have been around children, when I've been
Hmm.
around having to get, this is a very organic way, and
Yeah, they do
they
that
kept the
perfectly.
relationship.
Yeah.
they kept the relationship very clear, and
Mhm.
there is exhaustion, there's
Yeah, yeah.
exasperation, there's fights, there is and I love the way they I just I love everything about it, and I love, she drives a Volvo, an older Volvo,
I
and
have
you
that old
see
when I was a kid, I had that Volvo, yeah.
and now as they're running it on Paramount Plus, because you have
Mhm.
to run it with commercials, you have to watch it with commercials,
Yeah, mhm.
Volvo advertises
That's
on the show.
funny. That's so
Isn't that
great.
and then so you
That
see
is
the
really
brand
great.
new, and so
Yeah.
somewhere the Volvo company went, "We're gonna run on that show. We're we're gonna run on that show," because the character, the
Yes,
car was a
yes.
character
Mhm.
in that show. It was something that they would,
And I had now hers is like a gray, I think, but I had that model for many years. It was my favorite car ever, and I had the navy blue one. But it's cool because it is a Volvo and it's very safe and it's a family car. It's a wagon, like it's very safe. But there's another part of it too that just it has personality. So I think it also is its own character in the thing. And I always notice it because, like I said, I'm a Volvo person, right? So I love that. Now, Patricia Arquette, is she related to one of the Arquettes? Okay, she
yeah,
is.
she's part of the family, yeah. The Roseanne and David,
Mhm.
uh, who was married to Monica, from Friends.
Oh, yeah. Oh, geez.
Yeah.
So famous. Okay, but see, here's my question. So Patricia Arquette. So here's the thing. Patricia, because I've had a lot of friends over the years where I know that they would like Medium. They won't watch it because they take one whiff of her acting and they hate it. She's divisive, okay? Like, so I
Really?
like her. Yeah, I like her
I
acting.
find
I like
her
her. What do you like
enormously
about it?
pretty.
Because she is, but one of the things I like about her is what other people don't. She is reserved, and I feel like she does an authentic, understated, you know what I mean? Like she's more of like a genuine actor. That's what I like, is that I look at her. If you look at a documentary,
And what do
and
they not like about her?
well, here's what I always say. If you look at a documentary, the most crazy things can be going on, but people don't emote and they don't grimace. Like most people are actually pretty straightforward. But then when you're acting, there's a certain camp of people that likes everyone to be very physical and show, oh, these inner things. Patricia, she doesn't really do that. She does it in the episode where she's taking on that personality of the serial
Right,
killer. So she
I
can
just
do it, but she
saying,
chooses not to do it when she's doing the role, except for when she's freaking out and screaming, which, by the way, I wish I could scream at someone the way she screams and people would not get mad at me. I'm going to
yeah,
do it to you one day because I need to like, and then like everyone just deals with it. I'm like, dude, if I ever screamed like that, but I love when she screams like that. She's like, ah! Like doing her. I'm like, she speaks for all the women who have ever wanted to scream while they're doing that, a dish and they're not allowed to. So
well,
I
she
like it, but
it's,
she is understated. She is understated. She's not one of those. She's not a drama queen actress. She's really a
but
more genuine actress.
as I see it, you can't run a household with 3 children and run and do all the things that you have to do and not keep some amount of equanimity, or it's all going to go to hell. That's what I like about her. I like the way that she that she handles things,
Mhm.
and I like it. I mean, there's everything about it. But anyway, so Medium. All right. Thank
We're
you.
going to talk a lot more. See, here's the thing. So, we're going to be booking people who have had something to do with that series. And if you haven't watched that series, you don't care about it. First of all, we're giving you a chance to go out, watch it. It's also on Prime now, by the way. It's also on Prime. You can go into, if you have an Amazon Prime account, they just got it. You can watch it there. And here's the thing, if you're interested in, like Dennis is not really interested in the ghost angle or the psychic angle, but
No, no,
this,
I like it
but some
as
people love
part of
that.
what they have, and I think it's a wonderful device because it talks about there are more things in heaven and earth than are accounted for in
Hmm.
in your philosophy, Horatio. That's great. So what they're saying is that there's more out there, and so it just have, but it's that's not while that's an important part of the process. It's the
Hmm.
relationships and how she's doing in her own sense of how do you deal with justice?
Hmm.
What is justice and how does it work? And when do you have to let it go? everything isn't all wrapped up in one
And
couple.
she gets things wrong sometimes, which I also really loved. And she's getting these dreams that have symbols, but she can't always interpret those symbols. So it's
No.
also cool to find out how, and then she's surrounded with realists, like her husband is this engineer, or, and then her
Mhm.
boss does not believe it really, but he
Nanny
just believes it.
DeValos. Mhm.
Oh, he's so good. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with the guy who plays her boss, which is he's a cop, guys, and he is not woo woo at all. He is
No.
all earthy. And but anyways, this gives you guys a chance if you want to go out and check it out before, because
Right.
then Dennis is
And
going to start
normally,
doing
and
interviews with
please
these people.
understand that this show today was merely to knock the cobwebs off. It has no
Don't
particular purpose.
apologize for the show. I like the show. Do not
Thank you.
apologize.
Thank
Why are
you.
you
Thank you.
apologizing?
Thank you.
No,
No,
stop.
all right.
Take it back.
Anyhow, I'm really glad to be back and really glad. Thank you, Renee.
Thank you. And we're not apologizing for this show. I'm going to edit that part out. Not just kidding. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Never, never. That was embarrassing. I appreciate you correcting me.
That was awful. All right. Goodbye, everybody.